Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today's flow is an upper body and a shoulder opening one. So we'll work through different movements that really work on opening, especially the upper back and the shoulders. We'll start in a child's pose. So you can bring your knees a little bit wider apart towards the long edges of the mat, sitting your hips over the heels, and then reach your fingertips towards the top of the mat. You can rest your forehead on the mat. And to start with, we'll find length in the upper body and in the arms. And find a feeling of heaviness through the hips, so that the hips start to sink towards the heels. Taking a few deep breaths here, we start to ground down. Bringing your awareness here. And see if you can allow your focus, your concentration to be on you for the duration of this practice, with your body, with your breath. So sinking into this present moment here. Taking a really deep inhale in through the nose. You can open the mouth, sigh the air out. Good. We're going to come a little bit higher through the chest, and then we're going to thread the right arm under the left, bringing the right shoulder onto the mat. So the outside edge of the right shoulder grounds down. We come into a really gentle twist here. You can still keep the upper body, the chest really heavy. Taking a deep breath in. And then exhale, come back through center. And we'll switch so the left arm threads under the right. You can also drop the left temple onto the mat. Relax through the neck, the shoulders. Good. We then come back to center, reaching both arms towards the top of the mat. And then as you exhale, you can roll your spine back up into a seat. We're going to come onto our toes, so tuck the toes under, so a bit of a, sort of like a supported toe stand. Reach your right arm up, and then see if you can internally rotate the left arm and perhaps bring the fingertips to meet. Maybe you have that bind. If not, you can also keep the fingertips reaching for each other and just feel the stretch there. We'll take a deep inhale. See if you can really open up through the chest. Maybe gaze up for that inhale. And then exhale, release the arms, reaching the left arm over. Right arm internally rotates, and perhaps you bring the fingertips to meet. It can be quite a big stretch for the right shoulder, also for the bottoms of the feet. It's a great stretch. It's a very active pose here. Inhale, open up through the chest. And then exhale, release the arms. We're going to release the toes as well. You can tap the tops of the feet onto the mat. That might feel good to release the feet. And then come and sit on top of the heels. We'll interlace our fingers behind the lower back. Inhale to open up, lift up through the chin, through the chest, guiding the hands towards the toes. And then as you exhale, we fold over the legs. Perhaps bringing your forehead all the way onto the mat. Can you breathe, opening up through the shoulders, taking a deep inhale in. And then find your way back up, releasing the hands. We're going to bring them onto the mat, under the shoulders, finding a tabletop position. We drop the heart, lift up through the chin and the sitting bones as you inhale. And then exhale, round, find your cat pose, chin to chest. And inhale, opening up, drop the heart, drop the belly. Exhale, round. Keep going for a few more rounds, really grounding your hands, your finger pads onto the mat. And making that movement through the spine as big as possible, reaching the vertebra of the neck as well. And exhale, we round through the spine. Well done. From here, keeping your knees and your hips as they are, we're going to simply walk our hands towards the top of the mat. So finding an anahatasana, our puppy pose. So the heart sinks as close to the mat as feels good. Maybe you drop your forehead onto the mat, or perhaps you lift the gaze up and rest your chin on the mat. See what feels best for you. Just check that the hips are over the knees. That way you get a really nice stretch for the upper body. If this is too much, then moving back through the hips might be helpful. Well done. From here we're going to glide through, finding our way into a sphinx. So ground down through the forearms and simply drop the hips down. Now pulling the mat back through your fingertips, open up through the chest. Widen through the collarbones, through the chest, and drop the hips down. So really releasing through the hips, through the lower back. If you like, you can drop your head for a moment, maybe swaying the head from side to side, rolling through the neck. Keep holding the shoulders back, shoulder blades moving closer to each other behind the back. Good. Then we lift up through the chest. Sliding our hands under the shoulders. We're going to open our left arm out to the side. You can keep your right hand under the shoulder, bend the right knee, and then turning onto the left side, we find a broken wing pose. So the right foot can land behind the left leg. If it doesn't reach all the way there, that's fine. You can also have it wherever it gives you most support. And then relax through the head, through the neck, through the upper body. Deep inhale here. And then as we exhale, we find our way back to center, switching sides. Right arm reaches out, left hand under the left shoulder. Bending through the left knee, we turn on to the right side. Rest the head on the mat. Maybe gently pushing yourself into the pose with the left hand. Also allow the hips to sink back. That will naturally get you into the pose and you don't have to put in much effort to get that opening for the right shoulder. Beautiful. Inhale. And then as you exhale, you can turn back onto your belly. Both hands come under the shoulders. We push back onto hands and knees. Tuck the toes under and find a downward facing dog. Good. You can find a bit of movement here to open up the backs of the legs, to really bring length into the spine. So we're guiding the hips towards the sky. Pressing the hands towards the mat. Perhaps bringing a bit of fluidity into this pose, into this asana. We don't need to keep it static. Good. We take an inhale here, coming onto the tiptoes. Then exhale, bend through the knees, and you can find your way to the top of the mat, whether it's a step, a hop, perhaps a few steps. We lengthen through the spine, gaze forward, inhale, and then exhale, fold over. Do that once more, inhale, length. Exhale, fold over. Then rolling all the way up to standing, we reach the arms overhead, extended mountain pose, and exhale, hands to heart center. Good. We reach the arms up again. Inhale. And then exhale, release all the way down into a forward fold. Good. Lengthen as you inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, fold over. We'll find our way back up to standing. Reach the arms overhead. And now bring your hands to heart center as you exhale. Releasing the arms down, we'll interlace them behind the lower back and open up through the chest here. So sinking down through the hands, lifting up through the chest. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, we soften through the knees and find a forward fold, keeping the arms clasped. Good. Taking a breath here in your forward fold, you can release the neck. And then we're going to bend through the left knee. Bring your left shoulder close to the left knee and open up so that you can gaze over the right shoulder. Good. And then switching, right knee moves towards the right shoulder. And we switch around so that we gaze over the left shoulder. Good. We'll do both sides once more. So left knee, left shoulder. And right knee, right shoulder. Good. Then coming back to center. See if you can take an inhale and slightly lengthen through the spine, guiding the hands back. And then exhale, release through the arms. We'll take another inhale, lengthening. Now your hands can come onto the shins of the mat. Exhale, fold over. We step into a plank pose. We can go through a vinyasa. Now you can decide whether you want to keep your knees on the mat or lifted. Upward facing dog or cobra. Open up through the chest and we all meet in a downward facing dog. Good. Take a full breath here. And exhale out. We then inhale our right leg up behind us in space. And then hug the right knee in towards the chest. Step it forward between the hands. Left knee grounds down. And we inhale up through the arms, coming into an Anjaneyasana. You can either keep your toes tucked or the foot flat on the mat, whichever feels better for you. We then drop the arms down, interlace the fingers behind the lower back here as well, and find a slight back bend, a slight opening for the chest. Focusing on pulling the hands down towards the back of the left thigh. Keep pressing the right heel down to square through the hips. Good. You can come back towards the center, still keeping the hands clasped. Now tuck the left toes under and lift up into a high lunge. Hands still clasped. Good. Take one more inhale here. Open up through the chest. And then release the hands. We open up into a warrior two. Good. Arms pointing out to both directions. Keep the shoulders low. Right knee pointing towards the toes. From here, we reach forward through the right hand. Inhale. And then move back into a reverse warrior. You can sneak your left hand all the way towards the right inner thigh from behind the back if you like. And then exhale, we come back through center. If you have your hand in the inner thigh, you can keep that there as we come into a side angle. Either keeping your right elbow on the knee, or if you want to go a little bit deeper, you can drop the right hand down. Good. Find opening in the right inner thigh, perhaps the left elbow too, if you've got that clasp, that bind with the left hand. And then gaze over the left shoulder. Good. We take one more inhale here. And then as you exhale, you can release your left hand down. We're going to step the left foot a little bit closer and then come all the way up to standing. So we have a shorter stance through the feet. You can extend your arms out, then internally rotate them so the thumbs move down and back, and then bring your hands all the way behind the back. Perhaps you bring them into Anjali Mudra, into the Namaste position of the hands, or you grasp opposite elbows. So whichever is available to you. We find length in the spine here, and then exhale, fold over with a long spine. So we keep the spine really, really long all the way to the crown of the head. The back of the neck is long too. And then see if you can square through the hips, pushing the right hip back, left side forward. If you've got the Anjali Mudra, see if you can push the base of the palms together, finding a nice opening for the shoulders. Good. Take one more inhale here. And then we release the hands down, step into a plank pose, and find your way through your vinyasa. Upward facing dog or cobra, and downward facing dog. Well done. We'll move to the other side, so the left leg lifts up, and then exhale, hug the knee in towards the chest, step it forward, and drop the right knee down. We reach up through the arms, and then exhale, drop the hands down behind you, clasping through the hands, and then open through the chest with your next inhale. Guiding the hands down behind you. Lengthen the spine, reach up through the chest. Well done. Then tucking the toes under, if they aren't already, you can move your upper body forward a little bit and then find your high lunge position. Still keeping the clasp of the hands, still opening up through the chest. Well done. Final inhale. And then we release the hands, turning the right heel behind. Open the arms out into your warrior two. Sinking down through the hips. We'll inhale, reach forward. And then exhale, find your reverse warrior. Perhaps sneaking that right hand into the left inner thigh. Then coming back through center. Left hand can drop down or elbow on the knee. See if you can still keep that right hand behind the back. Gaze up from over the right shoulder. And find length in the spine here as you open through the left knee, pointing it towards the top of the mat. We inhale deep. And then exhale, release the right hand. You can bring the fingertips onto the mat to step the right foot a little bit closer to the top of the mat. So we have that shorter stance. We come up to stand. Now extending your arms out. Turn the thumbs down and back. Internally rotate and then bring the hands behind the back. So whichever arm-hand position is available for you, go for that. We inhale length. And then exhale, fold over. Still keeping that length in the spine. If your palms are pressed against each other, see if you can push the base of the palms together. Also push the left heel down to square through the hips. Well done. Deep breaths. We take our final inhale here. And then release the hands down onto the mat. Step the right foot and then the left foot back for a plank. Going through your vinyasa. Upward facing dog or cobra. And finally downward facing dog. Good. Take a full breath in here. And exhale out. We'll then release our knees onto the mat. You can cross the ankles and come and sit down. Feet can come onto the mat. You can bend the knees, guide your fingertips towards the top of the mat, and find your way lying down. Good. We'll turn sort of onto our right side. You can just kind of prop yourself up with the right elbow. Reach your left arm up towards the sky. Then again, internally rotate the palm or the arm. Thumb moves back and down. Then bringing your arm behind the back, like this. We've kind of done this already during today's practice, but in different asanas. So the palm is facing out. You can then come and lie down onto the mat and turn onto your back. So now we have the palm pressed against the mat, and the back of the palm is against your back. And then we breathe here for a moment. If you need to adjust the hand or the arm, you can kind of walk the fingertips higher up the back. There should be a stretch for the front of the shoulder. Some people feel this a lot. Some people don't really feel this that much, but bear with me. If you want to feel this a bit more, you can bend the right knee, have the foot on the mat, and gently press the foot onto the mat so that the right of the hip lifts up. Good. I'll take one more breath on this side. And then as you exhale, you can come back through center. Release the left arm. And just take a breath here. If you have tight shoulders, that's a really great stretch for tight shoulders. We'll move on to the other side. Extend the right arm up, internally rotate. The hand comes to the upper back with the palm facing out. And then find your way onto the mat. So you can kind of wiggle around, find a comfortable position here. Now, if you're right-handed, which I know a slight majority of the world is, you'll probably feel this side a lot more. For me, it's a big difference that I feel on my right side compared to my left. Reason being, we do so much more with our dominant hand. Things that we don't even really realize, like brushing your teeth, drinking water, opening a door, it's all done with your dominant side. So also the dominant hand is more active, it's stronger for sure, but it's also often tighter. If you want to go deeper here, you can press the left foot onto the mat. And now this is a stretch that I recommend to tight-shouldered people. You can stay here for like 5 minutes. We're not going to do that now, but it's a really great one to just kind of really restoratively stretch. Good. We come out of this one, so you can slightly turn onto the left side, release the arm, and then we drop into our Shavasana. So you can release your arms by your sides. The legs are long, heavy on the mat. And taking a few deep breaths to settle here. Feeling the lungs really, really full. And then maybe open the mouth to really sigh, release all the air out. Taking a few moments here. A few moments of stillness. Or just silence. Return back to the breath, to the body. Allowing for this Shavasana to really integrate the practice, the movement, the presence into your body. You can take as long as you like here in Shavasana. If you want to stay longer, feel very, very free. But if you want to finish your practice here, you can, in your own time, in your own way, find your way back up into a seat. Taking a moment just to arrive into this posture, which kind of serves as a place where we move away from our practice and into our day. So making that transition super, super conscious. And if you can, just taking as much of the energy, the intention, the feeling that you have right now after moving your body, after calming your mind into the day ahead. Then bringing your hands to heart center, and when you're ready, with gratitude, bowing your head towards your hands. Thank you. Thank you so much to all of you for practicing with me. I'm so happy to have so many of you here in my little YouTube community already practicing with me. If you like these flows that I put out, please do subscribe to my channel. It goes a really long way. Also, I love hearing in the comment section what you think of the practices, maybe some requests for future flows, or just a little chat as well. Thanks so much. I hope I see you here next week too. Thank you.